Alright, here we go. Sorry, I got distracted on something I was already watching before I started. Well, I still setting things up. We're going to work on the MSQ, but I am going to finish this part off of this quest, and then we'll go back to the MSQ. So heading to Raglar's Breach. As per normal, not actually reading the side quest out loud. think that's a good spot for that one, so let's go back to here. Back to the main story quest. Ah, I've been expecting you. I heard about your foray in the ethereal sea. The students had ventured far and wide, but never quite so deep as that. Are you experiencing any after effects from your prolonged exposure? Nausea? Dizziness? Hauntings? Well, have a pleasant sleep, and if you do experience any unusual phenomena, please let me know. I shall add it to our records.
There you are. Some time, indeed, yes. For you, at least. Believe me, I'd meant to get some proper sleep. But here we are, drifting along instead. Well, well, you too. And so we remain, to watch and wonder. Yes, indeed. To begin, we first must see the end.
Logan, I trust you've gotten a good rest. An envoy of Master Falchinos arrived not long ago with a message. The lab ports have determined Median's location. We've been asked to gather at the Rostera. I'll meet you there along with the others. Everyone appears to be present and accounted for. Good. As you know, the laboratories had detected the whereabouts of Medion by means of a crystal bequeathed to us by Hyland herself. Your quarry's location is a place far beyond the moon, in the farthest reaches of the sea of stars at the edge of creation. A variable ultima thule. Indeed. How then are we to reach it? An excellent question. Luckily for you, I have an equally excellent answer. In theory, with its advanced propulsion systems, the moon is capable of delivering you to Ultima Thule. By the merit, other facilities housed within would equally greatly impede travel through the sea of stars. Even the mother crystal would not possess ether enough to bear so massive a vessel to our destination and back. However, if we integrate our hyper hopper into your ether burner, we should be able to fire things up and jump our way to the end of the universe in no time. Well, does this mean? Bear in mind this decision was not made solely at my discretion, but with the consent of the forum. Hearing the laboratory's proposal, the forum was faced with a grave decision. To commit the Ark to this endeavor would mean abandoning both our plans to evacuate to the moon and resettle on another star. Needless to say, the proposal invited fierce debate. Proposal. And then, however, the forum was swayed by the simple fact that Hyland believed you possessed of the strength needed to overcome this crisis. The Great Exodus was, after all, a plan of Hyland's own making. Therefore, if in the 11th hour she would prefer another means by which we may seek salvation, we would be fools to dismiss it out of hand. Indeed, she sacrificed everything, her very existence, to avert the destruction of this star. This is why we have chosen to place our faith in Hyland. In you, the Ark will be made ready for your voyage to Ultimate Thule. With all the people that have labored so tirelessly to prepare for the evacuation, they must be furious. I would not be so sure. They have not forgotten your deeds on the Magna Glacius. Nor did your instrumental role in orchestrating the delivery of adamantine go unnoticed. No, the people do not protest. Quite the contrary, they have expressed unwavering support for you and your mission. Are the laboratories too willing to abandon the Exodus? Were you not listening when we said we were born of Hyland's love for Aetheris and its people? If it means your survival, we would do anything to help. You'll most certainly have need of our expertise where you're going. There's no guarantee Ultima Thule is a place that supports life, and otherwise vexing problem our know-how can remedy. Besides, Hyland chose us to lead the way to Meteon. Why else would she give you a crystal only we can decipher? But more importantly, we are perfect content to evacuate Aetheris until you brought us here. You're injured, and now we're enamored with the place. So what choice do we have but to save it? Of course, none of this is possible without you and the Scions, so I must ask, are you certain you wish to do this? Yeah. Over the final days. Whatever it takes. Very well. We shall inform the forum of your decision and begin preparations to bolster the Ark with the, Hyper Hopper. The operators will coordinate with Illibrand contingent to have the necessary components transported via the Tower of Babel. Of course, it'll take time until the work is complete. For now, pray take your ease. It would seem there is naught to do but rest and prepare, shall we? Ere we depart, we must leave nothing undone. Quite, though it's difficult to conceive how one can be best prepared to brave a domain where dimness governs all. Nevertheless, Hydaelyn deemed us worthy of the trials that await. For lack of other feasible options at this late stage, let us trust in her judgment and face Median as we are. Which leads to not so small task of coordinating our efforts here to you and Tataru. If all goes to plan, we'll be back before you know it. I certainly hope so. We'd be praying for your safe return. May ask the affected times for the better. With that settled, we should get some rest and make the most of the time we've been afforded. The meeting's over, is it? We were in there so long I started to worry. What did they have to say? The edge of creation. I see. Rest assured everything will remain in order until your return, and you will return. Actually, Logan, can I borrow you for a moment? Looks like your plans for the intern are decided. When the two of you have finished, meet us back at the Baldacian Annex. Okay, alright? With me to the Agora. I have something to show you. Welcome to Tataru's Boutique. I've always done my best to provide the sounds with fashionable attire, but in your case specifically, I make an extra effort to strive for the most functional yet stylish clothing one could ask for. Not that I'm playing favorites, but you are the warrior of light. Faced with an unprecedented crisis, I knew you would need to assemble unlike anything I've created before, and that I wouldn't be able to do it alone. So after enlisting the aid of the world's finest artisans, I finally completed my career-defining masterpiece. But the inspiration struck, and I saw a golden opportunity just begging to be seized. With the help of some Tavernian refugees, I decided to set up shop here in Charlotte. Of course, I would never charge you for any of our work. Perish the thought. First, how are things coming along? Everything's in order, Mrs. Taru. We'll be ready to open shortly. Which is why I brought you here, to be our very first patron. Would you mind waiting here for a moment longer? Waiting, waiting, waiting. I did not expect to find you here. I imagine Nadana would also wish to offer her regards. Alas, after delivering our dragon scales to the engineers, she remained to assist with their work on the ether burners. The Silicrom, too, will stay in Charlotte while overseeing matters in Razathan. It is rather convenient means to keep abreast of developments pertaining to the final days or anything else. It also allows me to, after a fashion, to watch over my people in this distant land. Farshawn, I was hoping you'd stop by. I can't thank you enough for allowing your artisans to work with me here at the boutique. Please, it is I who should be thanking you. This establishment has restored a sense of normalcy to their lives. You have blessed them with new-found purpose and a means by which to support themselves in these troubled times. What's more, when they at last return home to Razathan, the experience and knowledge they have gained in your employ will no long doubt prove a boon to the archery and commerce of our land. In fact, I came here to see how your new employees were settling in and to express my gratitude for granting them this opportunity. This opportunity for me as well. Leave you me. The artisans have taught me so much about daring and craftsmanship. Their resourcefulness and ingenuity are nothing short of inspiring. Can't wait to see what kinds of wonders we'll come up with. I pray you every success in your endeavors, Mrs. Sotaru. Before coming here, I heard word of the foreign's decision, of what will soon be attempted. It was only then that I finally understood why my father called this star the last bastion of hope. Indeed, it was the last bastion, for the flame of every other star he encountered had likely been extinguished. In the boundless dark, the light of brimming life must have been blinding in its splendor. Your journey unto the heavens to protect the light. May the scales of my kin serve you well. I have faith you will prevail and restore peace and tranquility to the star. And we should be honored to receive you. There is such much of Razathan you have yet to see. Forgive me, but I must take my leave. Fare you well, and remember, the people of the star have not yet given up hope, and neither must you. Where must I go to get a meal with some flavor in this wasteland of taste? Logan, old boy, whatever are you doing here? A new boutique, you say? Been meaning to expand my wardrobe. Yeah, something with a little more flair. Perhaps a befitting a man of my station. To have nowhere to flaunt said remains so long as my confinement continues indefinitely. I, the young Lord Foursteps, insist that so long as there is work to be done, no matter how trivial, I must abide here in Charlotte. Thus do I toil, till every fibre being rails against it. Why, I've even suffered the company of that brute Sicard to see supplies transported in a timely fashion. Yet he and the one granted leave this morning to participate in some supposed covert operation, so as suffer instead for his otherwise welcome absence, now burdened with extra busy work. And without home right here, there is no one to prepare my meals. I came here in the hopes of finding a nice cafe, perhaps. Alas, the startling delicacies I assembled were lacking every respect. The cafe over the pier, their cuisine didn't appear all that appetizing, but if you vouch for their cooking, then perhaps I'll give it a try. Thank you for the suggestion. And it's a top for now, old boy. Well, well, is that Logan and Tatario I spy? Hancock, what are you still doing here? You say you're returning immediately after dropping off your cargo. Yes, that's the original plan. After all, expertise required aside from the delivery of goods is well beyond my purview. But what manner of opportunity would squander an opportunity to study the markets of the northern seas? Worry not, I will return Shirawa's to Kugang once I have finished. Of course you would find a way to turn this into a crisis to your advantage. She wounds me, the industrious woman running a new boutique. I'm not blind to the travels of those who fight on the front lines to deliver us from ruin. Indeed, I have every confidence they will succeed, and I would make myself and my business ready for their return. If you believe in them so devoutly, then why not put your money where your mouth is? Fair enough, Tataru. Fair enough. There is not more I can do to help ready the Ark and her heroes for their maiden voyage, but on your return I shall host a grand celebration in honor at the Bakao Inn. Accommodations are quite costly given the reputation of said establishment, but the East Alderian Trading Company would be honored to foot the bill. Will there be lemon cakes? Ho ho! A man of tart tastes, I see. Yes, there will be lemon cakes, and much, much more. The finest delicacies the world and Lord Lotero had to offer. Let us speak of more of this upon your return, lest I draw even more of Tataro's ire. Until next we meet. Let me go grab my water real quick. Ah, Logan, decided to spend your time at the markets, did you? Tataru! Biggs, Wedge! I take it work on the Ark proceeds apace? Pace? It does indeed. Collaborating with the greatest minds of Charlotte and Raz at hand have been a rewarding experience. That's to say nothing of what we have learned from the low periods. The Ark is unlike anything we've ever had the pleasure to work on. Even Nero has rendered speechless on more than one occasion. I can't wait for you to see it. It's still hard to believe we have the means to send you off into the great expanse, though, to the farthest known reaches of, well, everything. I never thought I'd live to see such marvels, yet here I am. More often than not, union and silence are the catalyst that sparks the need for these great inventions. To think how much I've missed out on and had I not been a member of the Ironworks. Awful lot of work to be fair, and the privilege of being worked like a heart chochobo. Mm. Ah, there's that too. As busy we've been, wish there was more we could do for you, Logan. But no matter what happens, we have to keep believing for a brighter future. That we do. That we do. When you head back, would you tell the engineers I'll be along shortly with refreshments? That's very kind of you, Daria. They'd be glad to hear it. And on that note, Wedge and I should get going. Still have a few more supplies to gather before we return. Ever sorry for the wait. Right this way, if you please. Right, I don't believe that you have been formally introduced. This is Farshoda from Paul's stand. Ah, yes. It was you who helped us at Persua, and again when crossing the ice fields, was it not? I doubt we exchanged a little more than glances then, but it is kind of you to remember me. Thanks to Mrs. Tartaru, and I and many of my friends have found gainful employment in this foreign land. It is only natural to feel fear in the face of calamity. In such times, we must look to one another for strength and succor. I know not whether we will come to call this place home to or return to Tanvir, but we are here today and are glad to have contributed to the cause. Which they did by helping to make new garments as durable as possible. New garments. We put our hearts and soul into them, and I have every confidence they'll keep you safe in the battle to come. Gods, do you think how far we have come since our humble beginnings at the Waking Sands? From the rising stones to the falling snows, and even certain insufferable someone's ruby bazaar, we were always fortunate to find friends among the way. Even when you were swept away to the first, Gaharatia was there to grant you sanctuary. I'll never forget the relief I felt when you all returned to us. I thought my heart would burst. Yours has been a long, long journey, and I've been privileged to watch, often with bated breath, as you preserve time and again. For all the joy we've shared, there's much sorrow as well, but I've long since learned you can't have one without the other. Which is why I promised to send you off to the Sea of Stars with a smile. And you can be certain I'll be the first one to welcome you back to your return. In addition to your new ensemble, we have the remnants and weaponry for every need, so please feel free to browse our stock. Well, cool. Uh, so let's see. Acquired Enchanted Rampart. And me Mastery. Cool. Nice. However, you still also work to do before you depart, so I won't keep you any longer. I do hope you can find a moment for yourself, and the others can as well. They say they were returned to Baldessian Annex, though I doubt they stayed for long. If you decided to go looking for them, I suggest speaking with Kryl first. I'm sure they would have told her their plans. You're back. I take you received your gift from Tataru? The surprise is long in the making, with many, many long hours of fretting to get everything just right. I'm glad to see it realized, and with great success. If you're looking for the others, though, they've already taken their leave. Yashella, Thancred, and Heringer have gone to the last stand for a bite to eat. Ali's Grahatiara, meanwhile, thought their time would be greater spent poring over books at Newman. As for Alphinaud and Instinct, well, they elected to pay a visit to the lovelier estate, though Instinct seemed somewhat reluctant to go. I'm sure they would be all glad for company if you've had mind to seek them out. If you'd be feeling peakish, I suggest heading to the last stand before Yashala and the others finish eating. But above all else, it would be foolish to run headlong into a battle, a fatigue mess, so do remember to get a good night's sleep. And of course we can't fly. Look, come to make our trio a quartet, have you? Please have a seat and we'll see about getting you a drink.
Your business with Tataru was finished. My, what a thoughtful surprise. Whatever would we do without her?
Indeed. And she's right, you know. It hasn't been all doom and gloom.
Feels like a lifetime ago that Master Louis Soir gathered us together to form the Circle of Knowing. Since then, we have experienced much. But rather than feeling wiser, the more I learn, the more I find my knowledge lacking.
Forsooth. As a student, vainly did I believe that I held the secrets of creation in my grasp. Yet that which I had seized was but an insignificant sliver of what awaited in the wider world. Every encounter, every experience hath served to open mine eyes, enlightening and humbling me in equal measure. Even from those whom I called enemies have I learned many a valuable lesson.
What will we learn at the edge of the universe, I wonder?
Ultima Thule, where the bringer of the end makes her nest. I, for one, can't possibly imagine. But whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. For her.
Is aught the matter?
No, it's nothing. I just... Well, lately I find myself surprised at how much I've changed. How much we've all changed.
We've come far together, and if we have aught to say about it, we'll go further still. Aye, we will avert this calamity and return home. In preparation for which, we must give thought to what we hope to achieve after the proverbial dust has settled.
What with the primals and Ascians all but dealt with, I suppose we'll need to look for new hobbies. In all seriousness, though, in uniting to overcome a common foe, the disparate peoples of the world have found a way forward together. It's a truly gratifying sight to see.
Indeed. Though it was many years in the making, we have successfully set in motion the gears of fundamental change. With this, we have fulfilled our humble role as a symbol of hope. And I dare say it is time to bow out. After all, there is no shortage of hands to bear the torch in our stead.
You know, I never really considered I might live long enough to see an after. But even if my time as a scion came to an end, I don't expect that much will change. Traveling the world, going wherever the wind blows, lending a hand to those in need.
A journey for journey's sake. It doth suit thee well. I must confess, I too have yearned to see more of the world. If thou art amenable to the suggestion, I would accompany thee. Mine ability to effect an air of normalcy through artful disguise is much improved, thou must concede.
Aye, well, improvement is relative. You still look suspicious no matter what you wear. What of you, Ishtola? Any grand plans?
Why, continue my quest for knowledge, naturally. To begin with, I wish to know the state of the reflections, to which end I must find a means to travel between worlds. 'Tis the least I must do if I am to keep my promise. Should my pursuits prove unduly arduous, I won't hesitate to call on you. And in return, I will take you to see Reen one day. I'm sure you cannot wait to see the fine young woman she has become.
Spare me.
And what of thee? What wouldst thou pursue at duty's end?
Here's yours. My apologies for the wait.
Well, shall we make a toast? To victory.
To our comrades.
To the future of the star.
If you're leaving so soon, I suppose this is for the best. If you rather not explore the bottom of a bottle with your injury, I dare say the others would welcome your company as well, if you can find them, that is. In any case, as long as you make most of your time, then that is all that matters. pudding way.
Oh, knowing them, they're probably dreaming about the celestial adventures to come. Just as well. They've been running themselves ragged of late. Unlike you and the others, I'm a few steps removed from the danger and excitement. The things you all get up to never fail to impress me. But by the same token, I can't help but worry. Not only for your safety, but for your happiness. After everything you've sacrificed, you earned it 1,000 times over. From the simple pleasures of tucking into a hearty meal or collapsing into a comfortable bed, to the grand triumphs of visiting legendary lands or finding true love. You deserve all the joy in the world. There is so much that life has to offer. So much to be treasured and shared with those we hold dear. So promise me this. Come what may, you won't give up on your own happiness. When you're out there fighting tooth and nail, it's all too easy to forget. But in the end, your passions will be your greatest strength of all. Remember that.
This feels familiar. Well, 'tis good to be... wait. What am I... Gods, don't tell me I fell asleep.
Not that there's any shame in it, but you were sleeping like babies.
Oh, how embarrassing.
not a word to anyone. Understood? Not one word.
I'm told that sleeping in proper beds of your own choosing is a much more effective way to prepare for battle.
So, what were the two of you doing here?
I had a few books to return to the library. Thought I'd take care of it while I could.
And you?
part of the story is really freaking boring.
Oh. What brings you here? Ah, so you were worried that the Levier household might again be gripped by turmoil. All is well, I assure you. In my letters home, I had made mention of Estinian, you see. My mother wished to meet the legend in person, and so we arranged to have a spot of tea together.
Where were you in my hour of need? Fell beasts I can face, but I'm not made for idle chit-chat with lords and ladies.
Well, I for one thought you held your own. Mother was the picture of delight.
I might have been delighted myself, were we in a tavern with more agreeable drink. The thought of fleeing crossed my mind, but what then? I'd never hear the end of it, least of all from Tataru.
I'm sorry. 'Twas not my intent to cause you such distress. It's just... it was one of the things I didn't want to leave undone ere we set forth. That's not to say I think we won't be returning. Yet, given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today. After all, tomorrow is never promised.
It's fine. Not like I had better things to do. Besides, seeing you with your mother brought back fond memories of my own. Be we rich or poor, family is family. Well, it's past time we were on our way.
Wait! Since I left home, I've made a great many mistakes. Mistakes for which I can never make amends. But through it all, you didn't give up on me. To have returned here with you at my side, it means more to me than you know. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Forgive me, but it needed to be said.
I'm the one who owes you thanks. Were it not for you, I would not be alive today, nor come to terms with Nidhogg's spirit. I am ever grateful.
No, I'm not. And I'm proud of that.
Welcome back, Logan. Return to catch the final few weeks before embarking on your race, I presume. We'll be happy to know your chambers have been cleaned and fresh linens laid out. I pray you enjoyed the sweetest dreams on the final night before the big day. I thought I had to take care of him, so I'm doing that real quick. Now the realm.
You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. In that transcendent moment, what was it that I sought in you? And what was it that you sought in me?
How often have we thus assembled? To combine our knowledge and seek solutions to the problems before us.
Back at the Waking Sands, it was all we could do to address the most minor of troubles. Who could have realized what we'd find when we began to look to the sources of the realm's woes?
At the Rising Stones, we made great strides and shared many moments. From the joyous to the sorrowful.
We've had occasion to call other places home too. Be it Ishgard or Kugane, we were fortunate to find sanctuary wherein we might take stock and continue our fight.
Raid inbound.
I was honored to host this company.
Laz, how's it going, man? Thanks for the raid. How was the stream?
Confronted the truth of the star
I
itself.
think I saw you start on Final Fantasy and went to Hades. That's correct, isn't it?
And now from this place, we go to fight the most important battle of all. The Forum has sent word. The Ark is ready. The Loporrits naturally will be commanding the vessel. They will see the 8 of you to Ultima Thule.
Hopefully it was a good stream for you. How you been doing?
Upon arriving, your objective is to find and vanquish Meteon.
Been doing alright.
As a
Nothing
final
too crazy.
formality, the Forum bade me ascertain your
Work,
resolve.
kids, and
So-
gaming when I can.
Are you certain you wish to do this?
I'm actually multitasking right now. Listen to the storyline while I'm filling out something I remember I need to fill out.
We are.
Then, ere you report to Thalmasane, I leave you with these words. You must triumph. What that means will differ for each of you. To make it back home, or to simply avert doom, or perhaps something else altogether. Yet whatever it is that drives you, I have faith in its power to see you through. So please, triumph. Triumph, as we who remain behind believe you will.
Let us be off then.
Wait! Both Kryl and I will be there to see you off, but as your receptionist, I feel I need to say this here. Safe journey, all of you, and be safe.
Okay, sorry, I had to get that done. What was I was thinking of it? Okay, so we are getting towards the end of Endwalker here. We are about to head to the next part of Endwalker. Getting close, very close to the end of it. So I don't want spoilers for people that don't know it, so giving you the heads up. It is a little further than Anthony is. I'm not sure where you are actually, Blast, to be honest with you. But if you don't want to know spoilers past Anthony, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I am going on further with this. Plus Heaven's Sword? Okay. So, definitely would be spoilers ahead if anyone is worried about that. If not, I hope you guys can stay around and can enjoy, the stream going forward on this sort of stuff. because this is towards the end of Endwalker. So, I suppose this is where we part ways, for now at least. Would that I had sage words of wisdom to share ere you depart. Mayhap the teachings of Gullif Baldassian will suffice. Surrender not to anger or hatred, he said. Look beyond them, and there find true strength. What one sees beyond is open interpretation, I think. But for me, it would be the things I cherish most in life, things I believe are worth fighting for. Something to consider as you venture onto the sea of stars. Probably that one would be probably closer one to go to. Lower decks. Oh, you know what I need to do? Wasn't thinking of that as well. I think it's Shouty that does it. Maybe not. There we go. Gotta make sure to drop that in.
All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way.
I've seen my fair share of tight schedules, but this was bloody murder.
That's quite a different voice actor from before.
But we did it. We finished the ship. It's safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. Aye, it's a garland through and through.
I really don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you for everything.
Well, the work was hard, but we've learned a lot from it. After all, it's not every day you get tasked with building a starfaring vessel. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do. But feel free to throw in a colorful recounting of your journey on your return. So, have you thought of a name?
A name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
Well, seeing as its purpose has changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortuno, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
As you know, this vessel is the culmination of heretofore unprecedented collaboration. And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made our work possible. From a fragment of Dalamud, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars. And this fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Louisois not fought to protect this world. And in so doing, laid down his life. Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance. If it was my father's intention to guide us here. In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home, I name the vessel after that self-same fragment of Dalamud he delivered unto us. The starship Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. It doesn't seem like a very appropriate name, to be honest.
Sorry for the wait. I got everyone you asked for, and not a one less.
What are you all doing here?
Oh, I invited them. The representatives of those tribes with religious inclinations. You've done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok, but for it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother Crystal. Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare, not to mention we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards for feeding to the engines. But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves!
Thou wouldst employ summoning, or should I say its precursor, creation magics.
Care to explain for our benefit?
As you may have witnessed at Bestway's Burrow, the Loporrits are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment. Yet simple though they make it seem, it is a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly requireth that the wielder holdeth the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
Hence the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
Drawing upon this art, the Ascians conceived of summoning as we know it. A derivative that replaceth the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
I see. By combining the Loporrits' magics and the tribe's faith, we convert the Mother Crystal into primals of purer form and greater obedience. Summoning as it was intended, one might say.
Indeed! Indeed! While Hydaelyn gave us the ability to use creation magics, she forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul, or similar. She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desires of others, though. So, borrowing our friend's faith, we'll create deities using the Mother Crystal's power and send them to the Ragnarok!
Am I the only one here concerned about the risk of being turned into a tempered minion?
Oh, right, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Sharlayan tomes, it appears the Ascians incorporated an additional nasty element into their summoning method. The fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Beings thus created are instilled with the self-same desire and use their powers to enthrall people, starting with the summoner. In contrast, our creation magics, the original and the best, except no substitutes, don't incorporate any of that rubbish. So there's no risk of tempering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug. But I think we'll be safe enough.
Truth be told, I do not understand the intricacies of this plan. But none of us would ever turn our backs on you. When the avatars of our faith ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them. Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship. In gratitude, we will share with you the true expressions of our gods. Not malevolent deities, but benevolent saviors.
Alright, you lot, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost.
Lead the way.
May we have a moment? In anticipation of the day man might journey to the stars, we developed these.
Portable teleportation devices. One for each of you, designed to work in tandem. Press the button on one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to the Ragnarok. There is no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please do not hesitate to use them. Be safe, all of you, and come back.
You as well. I pray you take care.
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board. A few of my fellows will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competent crewing.
If you are ready, then you should board as well. Go, and Godspeed.
Okay, now we got to talk to Agalithli. If you would come this way, I will direct you to the bridge. Let's do this! Board the Ragnarok.
I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
It's incredible.
This is Fortuno. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site. The gates are open. You may depart when ready.
So, are we ready?
As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Oh, come on! The burnt-out star's got more fire in its belly! Try it again! With feeling!
Oh, Alvin will do the honors.
Me? But I...
No need to be coy, brother. Do it, and do it well.
If you all insist.
Onward unto the distant stars and beyond!
Ragnarok, engage!
Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids.
Engage!
That I must carry landwalkers into the sky. I cannot imagine a greater indignity.
Do not sulk so, for thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter. Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
Being one piece is positive.
Sleeping way? Report?
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch.
How long is 8 carats?
Alright, let's go over some points of caution. Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness. That's the extent of what our equipment could determine, anyway. From what we know of Meteion, she's likely used dynamis to obfuscate her location.
So, in conclusion, we'll only know what's there when we get there.
The crew and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice. We'll support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there is any. But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Hydaelyn believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourselves. Just don't do anything I wouldn't, like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours. Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits, and you should as well.
Understood. We promise to be careful.
I suggest you brace yourselves. We're about to arrive and the vessel will shake a good bit.
Well, that doesn't sound positive.
What is this? Something is interfering with the equipment.
Meteion.
Greetings.
Well, that was easy to find. God, she's creepy now.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Meteion.
So this is Meteion.
Oh. Have you met one of my sisters? I don't remember meeting you myself. But I do know that you're from Atheris. Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you your ends.
We didn't ask for that.
I don't understand. All life is destined to end. Why choose to prolong your suffering? Effort, ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost. Stolen away by events beyond your control. There is no logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves. But it's all a cruel accident. Come now. I speak the truth. A truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky. Unbroken emptiness. Cold, dark and silent. Your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric. Life is an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you. We know that life is fleeting, and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
Indeed. I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met. I myself have plenty of regrets. And one day they'll die with me. Gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
But we accept this. That our existence may seem pointless. That sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels. And we press on regardless. That is why Hydaelyn guided us here. In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name, we have come for you.
Yes, I sense it. A burning passion like unto fury. I know it well. For the same passion once burned in many a star before yours. Suffocated and extinguished now.
I can't breathe.
You approach the bounds of my ultimatum, where emotions dictate reality, where resignation and acceptance unite to embrace the end, where those who yet valiantly cling to life cannot thrive.
Whoa.
By the Fury. Thancred?
Meteion has gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
Everyone? It appears we are at our destination. This is Ultima Thule.
Not that we knew what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. From atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures, all reading to within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look. Meanwhile, I want the rest of you to perform a full inspection of the ship, as well as a biological scan.
So it was that the brave wayfarers arrived at last at Dream's End. In following their path walked and history written, I am made keenly aware of one truth. Though the curtains may fall again and again, so long as others take the stage, ever shall there be more tales to tell. So, let them bring it to a close, I say. Let the curtains fall upon this, the final chapter in the tale of the star.
Is this a dead star?
As I live and breathe, I live and breathe. Well, the environment itself shouldn't kill us.
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area. The ship we leave in your care.
You can't guarantee it will help in these strange surroundings, but I ready the provisions note in case of emergency. Of course, if you encounter any real danger here, I expect you to return to the Ragnarok at once. We're fortunate this place can support life, albeit barely, I suspect given the torpid, stale quality of the air. But never mind that, we must find Thancred. Let's begin our search from the prow of the ship. Seems as good as any direction as any. Try not to stray too far, lest we lose sight of one another. I'll actually probably be calling it here in a bit. Elder Dragon. Ruins, but of what, I wonder? Perhaps we can find something to help us understand the nature of this place. A relic? Inscription? Anything. Look here, this part is relatively intact. The insert design of Toss suggests is man-made. The builders were surely not men as we conceived them. Having said that, I swear I've seen this pattern before. I thought this hill might afford a better view of our surroundings. Poor decision in hindsight. Besides the light from the ship, all is surrounded in darkness. The Thancred is here. I'd never know it. From what I can tell, we are near the edge of an island, if you can call it that, surrounded by floating debris. Barely see anything in this area. Hey Unreal, how's it going? Good morning to you. Well, it's noon now. Were you able to find anything? As I feared, and still no trains of Thancred. Just crawl out of bed, it's 2 p.m. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which unfortunately isn't very far. I slept in. I woke up at 7 today. Though I can't help but suspect that someone or something is here. There are times when I sense it drawing close, and then a chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted. Leaving me with a feeling of death and anguish. I felt it too when I was near that thing. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. There's a dragon there. Or if we jump to any conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Honestly, it was a lot of... Agreed, we wanted more questions when desperate. There's a fair stretch of terrain from the ship's port side we've yet to explore. A lot of it was just people saying their things and reaching out. Let us try searching there then. So that part was kind of boring. I literally just got to this area, which I can't think of the name of it right now. Logan, word before we join the others. The family's about to be home though, so I'm going to be getting off here shortly. So hoping I can make it to at least the ether crystal though before then, but we'll see. You see them too, don't you? The dragons. As I thought, their presence is tenacious at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt you're bound with Midgar somewhere, and mine with Nidhogg as well allows us to perceive them. Could these aspirations be related to the dragons that now live in Aetheris? Better to leave such conjecture to the others. In any case, we must be careful. We might soon find dragons they can see as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder. Well, it looks like I should be able to at least get the crystal. They're there. I'm gonna go try to get the crystal first. Alright, I'm gonna walk back over here, and then I'm going to be calling it for now. I doubt I'll be streaming again later, but you never know. If that's the case, the next stream will be most likely Friday night. But we're going to call it there. So, I know you just got here Unreal, but yeah, I gotta call it because the family's here and I'm hungry. I'm ready for some lunch. Remember, drop a like, subscribe, follow. Yeah, that's kind of how I thought. It seems like a really good spot to end it. But remember, drop a like, follow, subscribe, Twitch, YouTube, and Kick is where I'm streaming at right now.